David Halpern of Mastery Consulting. Let's touch on the topic of accountability. So, do you have trouble doing the things that you say you're going to do or need to do? Here's a little system, a three-step system that can work wonders. And the example I'm going to use is actually for follow-up, but you can apply this to any aspect of your business. So, let's talk follow-up for a minute. You are aware, of course, that 90% of all US sales occur on the 4th through 12th contact, which means that the fortune's not in the follow-up. The whole damn freaking enchilada, as I like to say, is in the follow-up, right? The problem I have is I don't enjoy doing follow-up, but in my case, I have somebody working with me, Rosalind, as many of you know, who enjoys the follow-up and phone calls and interaction. So she does the follow-up. So in this example I'm going to use with you of accountability, let's talk about how I can make sure in my business follow-up gets done. In my case, somebody else is actually doing it. In your case, you may be the one actually doing it, but either way, the system still works. Ready? 3 steps to this tremendous world-class system for accountability. Step 1. Every week, used to be Fridays at 5 o'clock, I would call up Roz and initiate a weekly phone call to discuss follow-up. This is going to sound silly, but the most important thing in my business for follow-up was me initiating that phone call to review the follow-up with Rosalind every single week at the same time. That discipline is critical. Okay. Step number 2. Rosalind would go through the follow-up list name by name, and we would do it alphabetically. She'd be looking at the same exact list I'd be looking at, and she'd go name by name. She'd start with with A, Adam something or other, and B, Beatrice something or other, and she'd just give me a quick update by phone on what she did with them in the past week. Could be, this one I spoke to and they want to get started with coaching next week, or this other one I left a text, but they didn't get back to me. And this one I left a voicemail and email, but they didn't respond. And this one said they'd like me to call back in September or whatever. Okay. So she goes name by name. I have the same list that I'm reviewing as she's doing it. And by the way, no matter what she says, all I'm saying is great, great, excellent, cool, well, yeah, great job, well done. No criticisms, by the way. Forgive the airplane here. No criticisms, by the way. Why? Because it doesn't accomplish anything anyway. She wants to get the job done. And here's an interesting thing about accountability. The next week, isn't it obvious that she's probably going to want to have something to report on those particular names? So there'd be maybe names on the list where she says, I didn't get to this one this week. I didn't get to this one this week. And all I'm saying is, okay, got it, good. Because she's, people want to do, exceptionally well. So step number 2 is that the person doing the actual work gives a name by name review, almost like a pipeline report, if you will. Step number 3, I make myself as the administrator in this process, or the accountability partner in this process, responsible for making sure all names get on the list. For example, we had not that long ago a referral from an existing client of a Hollywood producer who spoke with me on the phone. And the next day I was telling a story about him, and I looked on my own CRM and realized that he wasn't even on our hot list. Whose fault is that? And the answer is it's my fault, because I'm the administrator of the list, or the administrator. So while Rosalind is doing the follow-up calls, I don't want to put the burden of her for making sure the names are on there, even though she puts names on there anyway. That burden is mine as the accountability partner. So in other words, if I'm initiating the call with Rosalind every week, I might say to her, anybody else that needs to be on the list that we forgot or slipped through the cracks, but anytime I come up across a name, I'd add it to the list. Now, therein is your 3-step system for accountability that can apply to anything in your business and, frankly, anything in your life. Number 1, a weekly review initiated by the accountability person. Number 2, a name-by-name kind of walkthrough of what needed to be done. Step 3, accountability person responsible for making sure names get it on the list. Simple 1, 2, 3-step process. It's world-class in terms of its manifestation and its results. Try this out. My challenge for you today is, in what one area of your business can you apply this? Who can you get to be your accountability partner to work with you on this? My only encouragement on that is, don't get somebody else who's just as undisciplined as you are, if you know what I mean. That's probably not going to help the process. You need somebody who's disciplined and taught about their calendar, that wants to stick to this over a period of time. It's the discipline. Business is run and grown through discipline. Hope this video was helpful for you, and look forward to some significant results. Thank you, people.